I know. It has been a very, very, very long time since we've uploaded, but a lot has been happening.
Oh, we got married.
Yes, we did, officially.
Congratulations. Oh, yeah.
We've moved twice.
Yes, we moved twice.
Yes.
I'm in school.
Yep, a few months away from a bachelor's. And we have a new addition to the family. We have baby Benefield, and it's a boy. Yes, that explains my the contrast. We're usually matchy matchy, but I am mother to be, so I must dress the part.
Okay.
Let me shine. It's my first.
I am not stopping your shine. Enjoy. I am very happy. Go ahead.
But as always, guys, I will post the registry down below. We accept all your well wishes on everything because it has been a lot. We're getting the nursery together, but also we have a few trending, not so trending topics that we would like to cover this on the segment. Really.
So we've been going for a while, and I know that those of you who watch the show know how hard I was on 45. I'm equally as hard on Biden. I was starting to really doubt, Joe Biden's agenda because it seemed like he kept missing black people, but black people what got him in office. Finally, after 100 years, we can say the Antilynching Bill has been signed and pushed through Congress, and it's about time.
We're going to have to give this one 2 snaps up in a circle.
Took Biden forever, but at least it's done. I know he better do something about these gas prices.
Well, he doesn't. Standing in the economic standpoint, he has no control over it.
The United States has the richest natural gas resource in the world. They wait for problems to arise and raise the gas prices. He's in control.
Well, that's neither here nor there. With the anti-lynching bill, we really did have an issue because before that, they had released the anti-hate crime on Asian bill, and it was like
LGBTQ.
Everybody else got a bill but us.
Americans.
And then it took Congressman Lewis to pass away. Rest easy, but
2 years later, he wrote the bill. He's been dead 2 years.
And my thing is with the anti-lynching bill, that's still not giving us the proper protection.
No, because the Black Panther director was just arrested in the bank.
Because he was making a withdrawal, wrote it down, handed it to the clerk so no one knew how much money he was pulling out. And instead of giving him his rightfully earned money...
His money. They called the police.
A fellow melanated person of ours decided to call the police.
That's
but
really
it's
sad.
His bank account. All they needed to do was ask him security questions like they do everybody else. Because I guarantee you, if what's the whitest person we know?
Jeff Bezos.
Yeah, if he walked in there and just slid a piece of paper or called it, they'll bring it out in a duffel bag for him.
But a bottle of champagne. They would not have called the police. That's what.
At all.
So the director, he was okay with it. He said that he was okay with the response. I'm not, because this is the second time that a black person gone in the bank and asked for their money, and the police have been called. Yes. I don't understand that.
They're earned money under their name.
Yeah, it's not like they went in there and fraudulently. I'm not getting that. So
it's like they're cashing stimulus checks or something. I mean, it's not like they're walking in there and saying, "Yeah, this is
we
me."
haven't missed a beat, have we?
Not at all. Not at all. But with that anti-lynching bill, I feel like that's just like a pebble in the vase. Like the water has yet to rise. It's a single pebble. Because another thing that's currently trending, if you're on the black side of TikTok, is that was it Carol and Bryant, the woman who lied on Emmitt Till to her husband and her brother-in-law that killed Emmitt Till, is posting on Facebook.
Yeah, like nothing happened.
Jussie Smollett was found guilty and sentenced for lying about a hate crime. When are we going to hold accountable this lady who also lied about something frivolous and caused the death of an innocent 14-year-old child? Yes, I'm talking about Emmitt Till, and yes, this woman is still alive. She's probably hiding in Mississippi somewhere, still not being held accountable for her actions, which caused the death of a little boy. Some people may argue, well, what happened to Emmitt Till happened so long ago and she's so old now, so just let it go. If we can hold Bill Cosby's old ass accountable, we can hold Carolyn Bryant accountable, as we should. The U.S. legal system is something else.
Like Emmitt Till is not. I saw on TikTok one of the best solutions to this problem is they should put this old bat's picture up on a billboard right next to Emmitt Till's casket photo and let the world know that this lady lied and got this brother killed.
And then what it took for her to believe she was on her deathbed to relieve the truth, and then just like that, she's healed.
She still hasn't apologized.
And my thing is, if Bill Cosby could be locked up over some old women that saying they touched him inappropriately, knowing he was married and they went up there on their own will, why can't they lock up this old lady?
I understand that. There's no statutation on murder, so I'm really confused as to why they haven't arrested this old bat.
Or why they haven't pressed new charges.
They haven't pressed new charges. Just arrest her. She killed a man.
Yeah.
She killed it. If nothing else, you can tell me this is a form of manslaughter or second-degree murder because she lied. Even if she says she doesn't know or didn't know that her brother and father were going to kill him, it does not matter because she is 1,000% culpable in the death of Emmitt Till.
And then check this out. When Central Park 5, when that happened, all of them received money. Why would they receive money and this old lady still walks free?
I understand that.
They got lied on. They received reparations, and their slate was wiped clean.
No, they lied on it, but 45 was calling for the death penalty to be reinstated in New York.
So they wanted to kill them.
Yes, the Emmitt Till is dead. If the photos of Emmitt Till was gasoline, this is what propelled the civil rights movement ahead. The fact that this woman, nothing has been done, and she's on Facebook now, on social media, like everything is okay, it's not all right.
With her kids.
It's not okay, and her kids are protected. See, this is why I tell people when they talk about the critical thinking of race being removed from school curriculum, which still wasn't taught, still isn't taught, but okay, let's just go with that. The reason they don't want this taught in the schools, situations just like this, you would have to see your racist grandmother, your racist grandfather yelling at pioneers like Ruby Bridges, who was going to school escorted by federal marshals. You would see them in the pictures.
Yes.
It's not that long ago. So for all these people that keep saying, oh, that was over 400, that was not 400 years ago. Ruby Bridges is a little bit older than my mother. Hi, mommy. A little bit older than my mommy. So for you to say this is a long time ago, those white people that are keeping this curriculum out of the schools do not want you to see their grandmother, how Carol Bryant is all on Facebook with her grandchildren, like she didn't get Emmitt Till killed.
And what the thing about that is, because I remember distinctively, they have the black and white picture of Emmitt Till with his hat. We've all seen it with the button-up shirt and the tie. But my thing is, where's her picture? Because this isn't like some mass group came after him.
No.
It was after she said something that there was a reaction.
She lied.
So where's her picture?
Yeah.
And just like he said, they're not dead. These are your grandmas, Meemaw and Paw Paw.
Yeah, they were involved.
Ask them what were they doing when they were in high school. How was high school for them?
No,
which side of the flag were they on?
Yeah, just ask them. Did grandma participate and grandpa participate in lynchings? Because, I want everyone to think about this. Every photograph you see of one of our ancestors being lynched, I want you to understand something. That was after slavery. These white folks didn't kill their slaves.
No.
Every man you see they strung up from a tree and killed
was free.
So you see these white people out there celebrating the death of our ancestors swinging from trees. Know that those are free men.
Mind you, that could have been your uncle.
Or
that could have been your dad that walked you down the aisle.
Absolutely.
Like, it's a serious business. People have lost family members, and then they whitewash it to put it in black and white as if there wasn't colored picture.
As if this is why I was so upset with Biden and Kamala Harris as well. It shouldn't have taken this long to get the Antilynching Bill signed and pushed through. We're still being lynched.
And that's why I'm so upset. Like Ruth Bader Ginsburg, may she rest in heaven.
My partner.
Senator Lewis, there are so many powered people that their last breath was equality, treating us civilly at least.
Well, that's a whole nother subject. The reason, I want people to think about this, the reason that we asked for civil rights was because I want you guys all to do your research. I know black history is past, but that doesn't mean that you should know your black history. Tulsa, Oklahoma was the one time, the Greenwood District, when we had equal rights.
Yes.
And when we had equal rights, we were thriving. This was the most affluent community after World War I in the world. They got so mad that they deputized white people, racist white people, to go out, and this was sanctioned murder. They burned everything to the ground and killed everyone. So I want you to look and just Think about this. There was 40 square blocks. Monopoly has 40 square blocks. The game Monopoly has a jail, has railroad system, has water and electric. What it doesn't have is a hospital because they didn't want any of us to make it. If you were playing the game of Monopoly and you went around the board 400 times, and every time you went around the board, someone took your property, then they took all the money you got because you get $200 for collect $200 for pass and go, and they took that. And then after they did that 400 times, then you went around the board for 50 times, they put you in jail. How in the hell could you win the game? How could you win? The game is rigged.
But not only that, one of the best sayings that most black people know is get your 40 acres and a mule.
It's always the number 40.
And not only that, the stimulus check, that $1,400, that's usually the wanted amount for a runaway slave.
That's what it says.
So my thing is this: it's not that they don't know how to give us reparations; it's that they don't want to.
And for anybody who says that reparations won't be the answer, know this: if you know your Bible, you know that the Hebrew slaves, when they left Egypt, they were given reparations. They had Pharaoh and them gave them so much stuff they couldn't carry everything. That's number one. Mm-hmm. Number two, all Holocaust survivors were given almost $300 billion from Germany. $300 billion. So the Holocaust, the Jews were paid reparations. The Native Americans to this day, they now have the casinos on their land that they broker the deal. They do not pay taxes, and they get revenue directly from the casinos. That's reparations. Make no mistake about it. Reparations is the answer, and we need to figure out a way to get our reparations because we are still being mistreated and killed in this country.
But let's move on to the next subject because we can go on and on and on and
Absolutely.
on. Because honestly, I don't believe anyone with, as they used to call it, a percentage of melanin should have to pay for an education. But we're gonna keep pushing.
They can start with that. They can start. That's another thing Joe Biden said. See, listen. I want you guys to know, now the show's back. Don't think just because I was at 45 because of his political... I was at 45 because he was racist and he was against black people politically. Joe Biden was first in line to sign that anti-crime bill. First in line. But it took him forever to get this anti-lynching bill done. That's number one. Number two, he ran on the promise of getting this education paid for black people. Starting with the HBCUs because of Kamala. Let's get that done, man. You said it. Keep your word, man. You said you were going to get this college was going to be free. We got a son on the way, man, and we need to get that together. Get it together, Biden. And I know it seems like we're going back in history, but we already covered this, and I don't understand why we keep doing it. So if you guys have been watching the show, you remember we talked about the MMA fighter who was a man who identified as a woman and was beating up women in the cage to the point where one woman had cranial injuries and a bruised and broken eye socket.
Yes.
I thought we wouldn't have to talk about this anymore, especially after Dave Chappelle made the great analogy that if LeBron James identified with a woman and went to the WNBA, he would average 1,000 points a game. Well, we got the same problem with a swimmer. This guy is identifying as a woman. As a man, he was 432nd in the world in swimming. 432nd.
That's where he places now.
Yeah, that's about.
Well, guess where she places.
That's about my average, about 430. I can still get it done. Now, as identified as a woman, he's number one.
Swim right to the top.
Yep, and everyone is coming out saying, "Hey, this isn't fair." He's swimming at the University of Penn. Even Michael Phelps, who I didn't know at the time was dating transgender, but his ex-transgender girlfriend said that Michael Phelps is a hypocrite because Michael Phelps is saying that this guy shouldn't be competing with women. But the truth is what it is. The truth doesn't need a name. It doesn't need to be the gospel truth, the hard truth. The truth is what it is. This man should not be swimming against women.
At all.
It's not fair. It's not fair. He's breaking all the rules. He's breaking all the records. And if he was such a great swimmer, I don't know how his identification sexually has anything to do with his ability to swim. Why wasn't he swimming this well against men? Apparently he was a bum. Call it what it is. My thing is this: you can identify whatever you want to identify. That's your personal preference. My problem is when your preference affects my preference. It is unfair that our daughters or granddaughters or nieces have to swim or compete against a man
in a women's competition.
That just doesn't seem right. It doesn't seem right. Now, if our daughters and nieces want to step out and go into the man's realm and lose or win, that is their preference. But I think it's unfair that a man can get in a swimming pool with more testosterone and outswim the women.
But didn't they start testing testosterone levels with some of the Jamaicans in the Olympics?
Absolutely.
Because they were faster?
Absolutely. They said.
So why aren't they doing the same in all these other sports?
Well, because it's identification. That's what I'm saying. The gender identification is how to get around it. So all LeBron James has to do is say
My
right
name is
now.
Lakeisha.
He don't have to say change his name. He can just say, you know what, I identify as a woman. And like Dave Chappelle said, he can show up at the WNBA and he will score 100 points a quarter. There is nothing they could do to stop him. Nothing. And they will be mad. The same community that is getting behind this swimmer, or the same community that was getting behind the guy that was beating up women, would be so mad that LeBron James is in the WNBA dunking on all the women. They'd be mad.
I honestly believe, like, I get it. You want to be a strong black woman, or you just want to be a girl in general. But if you don't bleed,
I don't get that.
if you don't have ovaries, if you don't have period cramps, you cannot claim to be a real woman.
I can tell you this. I'm 1,000% against Bruce Jenner being a woman for 3 months and being Woman of the Year.
Yeah, that was
could
crazy.
that be possible?
Oprah's been a woman since gay. Tyra Banks, all these other people have been women.
He was a Woman of the Year and had been a woman for a year. How could that be possible?
Woman of the Year.
How could he be Woman of the Year? He hadn't been a woman for a year. Leave it in the comments.
Cover girl, everything else.
Hey,
like
I don't understand that. I am 1,000. How on earth could that would be the equivalent of me playing one NBA basketball game and being the MVP of the season? How could that be possible? I didn't play the whole season. This man was not a woman for a year, and yet still he was nominated and won Woman of the Year. No period. Never had a cramp in his life. He beat all you other women out there. So
can't have a baby. Like
nope.
my thing, my biggest thing that rubs me the wrong way. If you want to be a girl, cool. Make sure you set out a week of every month to put on one of those period simulators. Honestly, if you want to be a woman, take over the whole thing.
I listen.
Just like they said, women can't only have babies. Well,
guess
what? You need ovaries.
Well, that's the same thing they say about like when people say they can use the N word because of the ER and the A, this and other. Don't appropriate the culture. Take everything that come with it. Take the stereotypes. Take the police brutality. Take the murder in the streets. Take the fear of a police officer getting behind you if you black driving, or the fear of your son just going outside. Take all that. Don't take a little bit of it. Okay, so
moving on.
Okay, moving on. Our black business of the week: Cookies by Design, black owned. I am so happy. Cookies are delicious, but they made this beautiful basket.
It says Baby Benefield in the middle.
Yes, see.
It says Baby Benefield. It's a boy.
It's a boy. Very happy about that.
You could just only imagine what our son is going to get into with his Malcolm X of a father.
The ghost of Malcolm X passed.
And his Angela Davis of a mother.
Yep.
So
you see that? We're in the building. Black people in the building. The question today. My wife and I had our own little discussion about this, and it went back and forth. Question today: should Kim Kardashian be able to say that women in this country need to get off their butt and go to work? Is it the message or the messenger? I would like for you guys to leave that in the comments. Wifey and I completely covered this topic. I see things completely different.
Child. Anyway,
and in no way, shape, or form am I conflating the argument. I'm saying is I know where Kim Kardashian actually started. Kim Kardashian was pretty much a gopher for Paris Hilton and Brandy. That's how she met Ray J. And you guys look this up. She stole some clothes because she was the girl who used to go in the closets of all of the so-called stars. Her and Chloe were supposed to be stylists and whatnots, and they would go in the closets, and all the fashions from the year before they would take and sell. Well, she stole some stuff from Brandy's mom. I don't know exactly what it was, but she stole some stuff, and somehow the tape came out, and that's what the payment was. But being from California, white folks was not talking to the Kardashians at all. My wife refused to believe that, but then white people remembered that her dad got OJ off for allegedly killing a white lady and a guy. They weren't messing with them like that. It was not roses. So I don't want to say that Kim Kardashian is selling old goods of Brandy and Paris Hilton is the same as working a 9-to-5, but it was a job. She built her fortune the way she built it. I think that if Michelle Obama had said the exact same thing about women going back to work, I believe it would have been accepted. I think that is more or less the messenger, not the message. As you can see by my wife's face, she totally disagrees.
You don't like it when it's done to you.
Listen, I said what I said,
You don't say nothing
and
about
I'm not changing on it, okay?
it. Okay.
She has no right. That's it. That's all.
Okay.
And as far as our next topic, we have a special announcement from one of our family members.
Yes. This piggybacks on what we were talking about with Joe Biden and the things that he ran on and things that he promised to do. My auntie Emily, Auntie Meg, has published an article, and I shared it on Facebook, and now I'm going to share it with you guys here on YouTube. I want you guys to go not only read the article, but also understand the contents of this article and do your own research. Make sure that if there's any question that you do not have, please leave it in the comments. But this is something that, as people, we have got to pay attention to our health care. The cost of health care in this country is ridiculous. The amount of money and resources being paid into our health care that people aren't receiving is even more troubling. So please go look. This is my Auntie Meg right here. Auntie Meg. And I want you guys to go read the article. It is not just a powerful piece of information, but I want you to know that when it's time to go back to the ballot boxes, we have to stop looking at it just the 4 years. Mm-hmm. We have to look at the 2 years as voting as well, because voting on what's at the bottom of the ticket is equally or more important in some cases at what's at the top of the ticket. So please go look at the full article. We're putting up the link so you can go look and check to see what my Auntie Meg has put out there.
Absolutely. Everything will be in the description box below. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. And of course, we'll put her personal information there too, so you can reach out for following questions and resources.
Well, them Jones girls and them McGee girls are something else, man. I ain't gonna lie. They're tough. They're tough.
Baby Benefield on Better Benefield.
Shout out to the grandmothers, because my sister-in-law Larissa is having a son. Mm-hmm. We're having a little boy. Mm-hmm. This will be my mother's third grandson, and this would be two grandsons.
Her first grandchildren.
Her first grandchildren.
Oh, my mom.
For her mom. So
yes.
These are the beautiful ladies. See? All right, now we can go. As always, I'm Casey.
And I'm Mo.
And we're Better Benefield.
It's a boy!
Baby Benefield.
But you guys, that is it. We're having a boy.
Yep.
That's why we're here. We're having a baby. We got married. We moved into a new place.
Yep.
We are currently in the midst of buying a new home, so we'll be moving again in about a year. But other than that, as always, my name is Mo.
And I'm Casey.
And this is Better Benefield.
With a baby.
Yes.